Yeah, you read that right. Twitch relaxes sexual content policy following backlash to predatory female streamers. Quote, twerking, grinding, and pole dancing now freely allowed with no content labels. Uh, Twitch is where people watch like Fortnite, right? Minecraft stuff. That's where like people like are alive. You know, they're not like pre-recorded. Ooh. This story comes to us from Bounding into Comics, and it's written by Spencer Bakuli. If a site with a primarily teenage user base were to receive a bevy of complaints against an invasion of unrelated users preying on those same users with their sexuality, one would expect the company to take some action to retain the integrity of the operation they've put online. That is, unless the site is Twitch, as rather than respond to a new round of complaints against their continued compromising of their sexual content policies in favor of cashing in, rather, on the behavior of predatory female streamers by fairly by by unfairly enforcing their own rules, the purported video game streaming platform has instead heavily relaxed them. Spencer, you got to go through this. That was a little confusing. The current round of criticism against Twitch was sparked after a number of users took notice that of the fact that in a natural progression of the platform's already egregious allowance of hot tub bikini streamers, some female streamers have taken to streaming, or at least appearing to stream, completely topless. That's right. You know. They say that they're not naked because they're wearing pasties, and if you're not familiar, those are they're kind of plastic, rubbery things that suction cup over the lady bits that shouldn't appear on television. So does the work of a tiny bikini, I guess. When many such streamers have been highlighted as engaging in this practice, three in particular have found themselves as the face of the latest backlash. Asian Bunny X, whose account on Twitch has reportedly begun promoting more and more users who don't regularly engage with this as sort of content. That's a sentence. Strawberry Tabby, whose engagement in this practice was particularly blatant, and Morgan Pie, a video of her shaking her seemingly bare breasts for tips, serving as the main lightning rod for users' criticism. That should have been the beginning of the paragraph, man. Yep, can't show that on YouTube. Yeah, that's in the article without any warning. So just be careful if you've got family or you're at work or whatnot. That's there, just not spoiler protect. I'll talk to somebody about that. Following nearly a week of users calling for action against this blatant exploitation of Twitch's primarily teenage male user base, the streaming platform's administration finally decided to take action. However, rather than choose to actually implement their own content policies, they instead chose to heavily relax them. That makes sense, right? Officially updating said policies on December 14th, Twitch explained that uh, in the main divergence from their previous rules, some types of content that were prohibited will now be allowed on Twitch, if appropriately labeled. Yep, that's there. Per Twitch, previously banned content now allowed with an explicit sexual content label includes quote, content that deliberately highlighted breasts, buttocks, pelvic region, even when fully clothed. This change specifically made because this change. Okay, we gotta work on our English. This change was specifically made because the site found that former sexually suggestive content policy was out of line with industry standards and resulted in female presenting streamers being disproportionately penalized. Female presenting, there's that word again. There's well, two words. There's that thing again. Another one, body writing on female presenting, here it is again, female presenting breasts or buttocks, regardless of gender. Wait, what? What? Body writing on female presenting breasts or buttocks, regardless of gender. Female presenting gen. What? Fictionalized, drawn, animated, or sculpted, fully exposed female presenting breasts or genitals or buttocks, regardless of gender. Who? How? What? Fictionalized acts of sex or masturbation remain prohibited. Thank goodness they're not just going full Pornhub, but I just really wish I could understand what the heck female presenting breasts, genitals, or buttocks, regardless of gender, means. Like, how do you female present? So male presenting butts can get up there if they're if what? I don't understand. Further, in a particular boon to the platform's golden geese, labels are no longer needed for streamers featuring popular dances such as twerking, grinding, and pole dancing. Previously, some dances were prohibited and others were allowed with a label, recalled Twitch. Enforcing on dances regardless of enforcing on man, I hate the way they talk. Enforcing rules on dances regardless of context meant our policy prohibited twerking at weddings or taking pole dancing exercising classes, for example. The policy now takes context into consideration and only prohibits streaming inside of adult entertainment establishments. Oh, cool. So at least the whatever algorithms there can tell that the footage is being sourced from a strip club. That's helpful. It's still, you could be out in the middle of a park doing all of this, but at least Twitch will not be airing footage from inside of a strip club. Thank goodness. In terms of video games, the site's administration affirmed they would handle nudity in games two ways. First, the games featuring nudity, pornography, sex, or sexual violence as a core focus or feature are entirely prohibited. Custom gameplay or visual modifications that include nudity or sex content, including uncensored patches in otherwise allowed games, are also prohibited. Second, they continued, for games where nudity is not the core focus or feature, the mature rated games content classification label is sufficient for incidental nudity. However, the sexual themes label must be applied to gameplay that focuses on nudity. To this end, Twitch additionally warned that users may not engage in simulated sex activity, erotic roleplay with other players online in online games, adding games that primarily consist of user-generated content in-game roleplay or in interactions in virtual reality are not exempt from this policy. Thank you for that, Spencer. Finally, in terms of the platform's recommendation algorithm, Twitch confirmed that while the application of a content classification label would prevent a stream from being recommended on the site's front page, excluding the lighter labels of mature rated games, those being games such as Grand Theft Auto or Persona 5, rather than anything that would classify as solely pornographic. And profanity. They would, quote, not prevent streams from being recommended in the left bar of the homepage, as stream thumbnails are not shown in that section. Viewers can still search for or go directly to channels they follow that are streaming labeled content via the left bar of the homepage, but streamers using these labels will not be surfaced on the homepage recommendation, said the Twitch. Making this change helps ensure that viewers will not see content they haven't consented to seeing. Right. They're not going to see things they don't want to see. You got it. You're filling the website full of a lot of stuff they do want to see, though. Especially teenage boys. Remember when Playboys, you'd be hiding Twitch. You'd be hiding your tablet under your bed from your mom. Are you watching Twitch? No, I'm not watching Twitch, Mom. What are you talking about?